Hello guys, welcome back. Today I have an exciting tutorial on how to create this manipulation in Photoshop. It's not so difficult to do, but take a little bit of time. So, let's get started. I'm using a document size of 4000 width by 2500 height document with a 300 dpi. Feel free to use any other size as your liking. I put gradient background with blue colors. I drag the ocean photo to the design. I put the blending mode to soft light and I created a layer mask. I take the gradient tool with black color in the foreground and transparent. I click as I drag below to create a smooth transition. I will be placing the PNG clouds. I create a new layer, then I take the brush tool with white color and a soft brush, and I click to create a light in the center. I put the opacity to 75%. I group these layers, I name it BG. I take now the Volky PNG photo, which I have masked out already to save time. The original image is red. I have modified its color by using the hue saturation adjustment layer. And also I have deleted the sticker with the brush tool sampling the original red color. I double-click in the layer to bring the layer style dialog box, and then I click in the gradient box. I select the transparent gradient with black color. This is to reduce the brightness a little bit in the bottom car area. I create a new layer for the shadow. Then I take the brush tool with a soft brush, and I modify the angle and some other settings. I click with the Shift key hold down to make a straight thick brush. I adjust the shadow and also the opacity. I make a group for the Volky car. Now, the fun part begins. Will be fun, but a little boring at the same time. We'll be placing the objects in the top of the Volky car. I will begin by placing this blue bag pack. Then I continue by placing the rest of the objects. I will be placing the objects at my own style, so there is no wrong or right way to do this. Do it as your own style. And also, you can use another objects as you like. Use this as a guide. You can do better than me. I have placed all of my objects. Now, I will group them all in one folder. I click in the first object, and I press and hold the Shift key to select them all. I can drag them to the folder icon, or by pressing Ctrl or Command G to group them all. I double-click in the name to rename it. I turn the group layer on and off, and you can see that all the objects are inside this folder. Now I will open this PNG. I want to take only the birds and some palm trees. I use the lasso tool to select this one, then I press Ctrl or Command as I drag it to the design. I put this palm below, I group it, and I rename the folder. I convert it into a smart object. I scale it. Then I will press Ctrl or Command L to bring up the levels adjustment. I want to modify the color a little bit. I duplicate this layer by pressing Ctrl or Command J. You can also duplicate while having the Move tool selected by pressing and holding the Alt or Option, then click and drag to duplicate. I will take this palm tree. And I do the same previous steps. We almost have the design ready, but need some shadows, so they can look more realistic. So what I will be doing now is going to the Traveling Things folder, and I will be creating the shadows. The way that I will be doing this is by creating layers for every shadow, because every layer shadow must be below of every object. Before begin with the shadows, I can also use the layer styles, like the gradient overlay, to reduce brightness of some parts of the images, like we did previously with the Volky car. I can click in the canvas to reposition the gradient, and also modify the opacity. I'm using the foreground to transparent gradient. Now, I begin with the shadows by creating empty layers, and then using the brush tool with different settings and lowering the opacity. This is the process I use to create the shadows. Now that you have idea, I will forward a little bit this process also. Now it's look much better with the shadows created. Now, I will take the birds. I place it into the design, then I drag it to the background folder. We are almost done. The last step is to create color adjustments. I create a gradient adjustment layer. I will choose this preset. I change the blending mode to soft light, and the opacity to 50%. Then, I create a color lookup. In the 3D LUT file, I will select the futuristic bleak. And I lower the opacity of this adjustment layer also to 50%. I group the color adjustments and I rename it. See the before and after. So there we have the Volky traveling manipulation completed. I hope you like this tutorial. Subscribe, comment, like and share. Don't forget to download the final PSD file. The link is in the description below. So thank you so much. God bless you all, and I see you in the next video.